guys, I felt like you deserved a story time video and it took me ages to think of one, but I have one. And as you can see from the title, I caught a thief at work. Like, I actually saw somebody stealing, called security, and they detained him, and it was just amazing. So story was, we had cameras put in July last year, and people were just taking the sunglasses off the shelf. We're not allowed to have tags in the store because it's like a franchise, so we've kind of got to do whatever they want to do. And people were just taking sunglasses off the shelf. So we got these cameras installed. We mainly got the cameras installed because money was going missing, like, internally. And then we decided to kind of extend the cameras out to the shop floor. So tip number one, do not come into my store and steal because I have cameras everywhere. So what happened was, over the summer last year, we'd noticed that some sunglasses frames were going missing. And it was only when we would look back at the camera, we saw this guy like regularly coming in to steal some frames. And then we caught him because he just kept coming back and wearing the same clothes again, which I thought was really stupid. And then after a while, we like recognised him. So what happened with this one, this guy came in, and it was like a random Sunday, and he came in with this like decoy person. I think that's the right word. So this person that came in with him to distract the staff. So the girl went straight over to the desk. By this time I was on lunch, so I was upstairs having my lunch, watching the cameras like in front of my, because I have my desk at work and then the cameras are right in front of me so I can watch what's going on the shop floor. And I saw this guy, I had the camera like enlarged over the sunglasses, and every time I see someone with a big bag anywhere near the sunglasses, I just automatically like zoom in and I just watch it and like sit there like with my donut as if like it's movie time. And this guy put a pair of sunglasses up one of his sleeves and then he walked out. And so I rang downstairs and I said to my member of staff, is that guy still in the store, because he's just stolen a pair of sunglasses? And he's like, no, he's just walked out. So my colleague's gone over to the door and the guy's gone. So I then went back to the camera footage and I looked back the last like 10 minutes just to watch him. So I watched him come in. And like I said, he came in with a girl who acted like a distraction, because she went over to the front desk and she was apparently asking the staff for an application form. She was talking about jobs with them. And then she started moving herself. So she was then in the way, so blocking the view of like the person that was stealing the frames. He, in that time, stole 3 definites, possibly 4 frames. 4th one I couldn't be sure about because I think he just was either really quick or the camera like bit was covering it, so I couldn't see. But definitely stole 3 frames. So I called security because I only saw him take the last frame, and after he took that frame he then walked out of the store, and by the time I came downstairs it was just too late. So called security. Security were from the shopping centre that are like next to my store. So they came in, they had a look at the footage, and they basically said, okay, we'll go around town, we'll see if we can find him, we'll wander around a little bit in town. So they went out because they had camera footage of what he was wearing on the same day. And they went into like other opticians to see if he'd taken stuff from anywhere else, see if they could find him anywhere else, and they couldn't find him. So they then came in the next day and recorded the CCTV and then took it with them and on like a USB, and they were like, well, look out for him. But the minute he comes in again, just ring security straight away, even if he hasn't taken anything, because we can detain him in the store. And then we can call the police, whereas we're not allowed to detain him because it's basically putting us at risk. They could get violent, they could start harassing the staff, they could get violent with the staff. So we are told to basically like call security, and then security from the shopping centre can detain them, and then they can phone the police and like basically hold them in the store. So a few days later I was like convinced that he was going to come back in, because I was like, well, he got away with 3 frames and he's unaware that anyone saw him at the time because nobody approached him. So that incident happened on the Sunday, and then the Friday, so like 5 days later, I was leaving the store at 5 o'clock, and we don't shut until 6 o'clock. So I was leaving the store about 5 and I was like delayed. So I was waiting outside for my sister because she wanted to come past me and go to Tesco. So I was waiting outside the store for my sister, and I was like in my coat. So you couldn't tell that I was a staff member because all you could see was my coat. And I was wearing like these Ugg boot type things. So basically he wouldn't have known that I worked there anyway. So I was standing outside the store and I literally saw the same guy walking back into my store. So what I did was I followed him. I went straight upstairs. I looked at the girl that was on the desk to kind of nod at her and indicate, look, this is the guy that's stealing. And basically she kind of clocked on what I was saying because she recognised him from the camera footage. And then she sort of just approached him and just asked him if it was okay and just started making random chit chat with him to keep him in the store. At this point, it was really, really quiet in the store, so I don't think he was, I think he would have taken something if my colleague like wasn't following him around the store. But I went upstairs, I rang security, I said, look, I had a thief in the store a few days ago, he's back in the store, he's wearing the same clothes, he hasn't even changed his clothes, he's got the same bag and everything matches, please can you come back in straight away. I was watching on the cameras like to what he was doing, because I thought now, because the store's like, because I'm finished, I could technically follow him. So I watched on the camera, and then he obviously realised, I don't know if he clocked that he was being watched, but something made him just head for the door. And as he grabbed the door handle, the security came the opposite way, and I was like, thank God for that, because he was making me lose sleep, because I thought he's just going to come in every day and like rob for me unless my staff recognise him. And I'm pretty sure he hadn't been back in since the Sunday when he stole, because all the staff knew what he looked like, all the staff had been shown the camera footage, and we were literally just waiting for him to come back in the store. So he hadn't taken anything, but the security came the other way, and I could see him on the camera getting quite like cocky with them, like, oh, I haven't got anything, blah blah. But at this point we knew he hadn't taken anything, but we had this, he didn't know that we had the CCTV from the day, like from the Sunday before. So the security were waiting there for him, and then I went back downstairs because I just wanted to look at this bastard's face. So I thought, if you steal from me, I'm going to get a really good look at your face. So I went downstairs, and the security guy then phoned the police, and I explained what happened to the security guy. And he made me step forward in front of this thief and explain what happened. And all I basically said was, look, on Sunday, this guy came in, he stole 2 frames from there, he stole 1 frame from there at least, and then he walked straight out the store. And today he's come back in, but he hasn't taken anything today because he hasn't had a chance to take anything today. And then by that point, the guy knew that he'd been caught, because he was, like I said, he was dressed exactly the same, like just like a tramp basically. So the security was like, okay, are you happy for us to phone the police? And I said yes. So one of the security guys came upstairs to check the footage again of that day, and then they called the police. So the police came into the store and they questioned him, they got his name, and then basically what happened was, they were, apparently because he hadn't taken anything that day, they couldn't arrest him, which really annoyed me. So what they did do is they offered him like a voluntary interview, which to me just sounds like the most stupid thing in the world. So they've got his name, they've got his details, which I think he probably could have lied about. And then they offered him a voluntary appointment to go in the next day and like a voluntary like confess. But they wanted to get the footage from me before the interview, so that if he denied anything or had no comment to say, that they would just be able to show him the footage and be like, well, you can say whatever you want or say as little as you want, because we've got it on camera that you stole some frames. So I felt like a hero. I felt really good about myself. And the security guy was like to me, if you ever want a job in our security firm, like, please come and let me know, because that's amazing. And I just felt so good, because when someone steals from you directly, like, it is heartbreaking, because I work 6 days a week. I work more than like 45, 46, 40, maybe like 50 hours a week. And when someone steals my hard-earned money, like, it is really, really upsetting. And I got to think about it is the fact that he might be in a very, very bad position. He might have had no choice, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, go and get a job. Like, don't steal from me. Go and get a fucking job. Like, so anyway, that's my little rant. This is me. I saved some more frames getting stolen, and I don't think he would come back in, and I don't think his little decoy would come back in again, because now they know we've got cameras, and they know the cameras work, and they know that all the staff know his face. So I think lesson to learn is, don't steal, because it will come back to you, and don't get greedy if you haven't been caught and then try and steal again, because it will definitely come back to you. So that is my little story about the thief, and everyone have a great day. If you have any suggestions of videos that I can make, please let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you lots.